So my top 20, we'll pull up the graphic here. I got Josh Allen number 1, last year's QB1 finish. I got Patrick Mahomes at 2, Herbert at 3, Lamar Jackson at 4, and then I got Joe Burrow at 5. I have Joe Burrow QB5 entering the 2022 season. Some may say I'm valuing the 30-year LSU product a bit on the high side. This might be his ceiling, but his end of the season was strong. In weeks 16 and 17, probably the 2 most crucial weeks fantasy for Joe Shiesty. He finished as the QB1 in fantasy scoring, 38.1 points in 16 and then 34.8 respectively versus the Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs, who are no slouches. And then he's coming off the Bengals have the 4th most cap space coming into the season, fresh off the back of a 2021 Super Bowl run. He's definitely got some vinegar in his Cheerios. He's tasted the taste of defeat. Hot take from Ryan here. Fields finishes top 10. I mean, it's hot. It's up there.
Is it habanero hot or is it
It's if he can get the rushing game going. I know they're losing Allen Robinson there, but if they could take advantage of his legs, he could definitely finish in the top 10. I mean, 1 and 2 I would say can be interchangeable. 3 to 6 can swap consistently throughout the season. Then I think 7 to maybe 12 is a bit of a crapshoot. It's going to depend on who has a better season, better passing numbers. I mean, a lot of the guys at the top of this list are going to be heavy runners. So, but I think Joe Burrow, not the most prolific runner by any means, but the chance that the Bengals, I'm trying to find the right word there, the chance that the Bengals are going to have to build around them with the cap space through drafting, free agency. They got the chance to really build something good there in Cincinnati. 51 sacks in the regular season. That's not including playoffs. If you include playoffs, he's probably somewhere close to
71.
He
had 20 sacks against them. Yep.
Which is crazy in that small sample size that is the playoffs. 20 sacks. He had 9 against them in the one game there,
Titans game,
which was not good at all. And then he got lit up. I think he was pretty much playing on one leg. Near the end of the Super Bowl there, he was pretty much playing on one leg. You could see it. He would take 1 to 2 step drop back and then quickly release the ball. He was not holding onto the ball for long, and when the defender was close to him, he was dropping. You could see that his leg just wasn't right. But with that, he was number 1 QB in completion percentage when he was throwing from a clean pocket. So if they can build that line around Joe Burrow, that is the reason why I think he can take a big step into fantasy this coming season and finish in that top 5. Again, I may have him at his ceiling here at top 5. I don't see him taking that 1 spot or that 2 spot, maybe even that 3 spot. Herbert is low-key a decent runner. He's put up some good numbers running the ball, but for Joe Burrow, I think if the Bengals build around him, then he can definitely move up into that upper echelon, that tier 1, top of tier 2 of quarterbacks heading into the 2022 season. And then I have Kyler Murray. I don't know what's going on in Arizona there, but he's been a guy that's great at the beginning and then inconsistent in the second half of the season. So I got him down a little bit lower. Dak Prescott at 7. Jalen Hurts at 8. I mean, another guy who's fantasy relevant because of his running. I got the NFL MVP, Aaron Rodgers, at 9. Right now, the graphic shows them on Green Bay, but who knows where he's going to end up at the start of the season. And then at 10, I got Russell Wilson, quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks for now. He got a lot of heat last season with the trade rumors, the hand injury, the problem he had with DK Metcalf and his romper room escapades, allegedly, and his substandard production in his first 2 games back from injury. With all that, Danger Russ still threw for 25 touchdowns, or put him at QB 11 on 3,000 passing yards, while finishing 5th in yards per attempt at 7.8 and 1st in air yards per attempt with 10.1. In 2020, when playing the full season, Rush finished 2nd in passing TDs and top 5 in passing yards. The real question is, do I have him, another guy, do I have him ranked at his ceiling? Can Russ do much better than 10th at the position? He can if he can continue to rush the ball. Between 2013 and 2020, Wilson consistently finished within the top 10 of QB scoring with 4 top 3 finishes, and one of those he finished as QB1, which is 2017. In those top 3 finisher years, it was his rushing that got him there. 2,330 yards, 391 attempts, 16 TDs combined through that chunk of time. With the potential trade rumors already circling around this veteran quarterback, his ceiling is probably QB6, barring any injury. I am absolutely buying into what Wilson is going to bring into the 2022 season.
What is he worth though, draft wise? What would you pay for him if you were like the Eagles? You know, because I've heard Eagles, I've heard some teams. Like, what is his price right now coming off of this last season?
Coming off of this last season, I mean, I'm okay giving up a first in Jalen Hurts, no problem. You want to take Jalen Hurts, not that much of a prolific passer, take him. You want to take a couple draft picks, take him. I'd rather have Russell Wilson right now than a Deshaun Watson, I think. Are you in that same?
No, I like it.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna get out of Deshaun Watson. You know what you're going to get out of Russell Wilson. I just think I like what Russell Wilson brings to the table more. Fantasy-wise, though, depending where Deshaun Watson ends up, I might want Deshaun Watson over Russell Wilson. I do not have Deshaun Watson on this list just because the water is so muddied. It's so murky right now. uSTADIUM did push out a notification saying that the situation could become a little more clear, or maybe I think it was Twitter. The situation could become look at that. The real GOAT, Josh Rosen, finished with minus 1.24 fantasy points in 2021. I mean, I'll always remember the clip of Josh Rosen saying all the other teams before him are going to regret not drafting him. I don't know about that, Josh. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to what Russell Wilson's going to do in the 2022 season. And then I got Matt Stafford with the LA Rams. If Cooper Kupp's there, I'm not too sure what OBJ is going to do. I still think he's going to produce at a high level. 12, I got Derek Carr with the new regime of Josh McDaniels. I like it. At number 13, I have Trevor Lawrence. This is a big one for me. He was once described as the next generational talent to come into the NFL, but was hampered by a mess of a front office and a coaching staff that was handling the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was not good at all. With all that, the first overall selection in last year's entry draft, still finished as a top 20 fantasy quarterback. He finished 5th in quarterback carries with 73, 9th in red zone carries, which is a big one, with 12, 8th in rushing yards. So he finished top 10 rushing yards at the position with 332, but only secured 2 rushing TDs. If he can double that, he definitely move up into that 13, 14, 15 spot. With the rushing TDs, everything heading into the 2022 season is trending up for Lawrence, and he should see an increase in total TDs in 2021. In total, he had 14 touchdowns between passing 12 and rushing 2. The hiring of Doug Peterson is a good sign that Lawrence will continue to develop in the right direction for the season. He was once tasked with helping Carson Wentz get to the next level. Peterson had Wentz at an MVP pace a few years back. Let's not forget that.
Nope.
And in 2017, the second-year QB threw for 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions and over 3,300 yards. The staff collected another win by hiring Jim Bob Cooter as passing game coordinator, who had previously worked with Stafford, who we already mentioned, and Peyton Manning. I mean, he can definitely take the next step forward if the Jaguars add offensive pieces through the draft, which is rich at wide receiver, or through free agency, where the Jags hold the third most cap space. There's a ton of free agent wide receivers out there: Chris Godwin, Allen Robinson, Devontae Adams, to name a few. He's getting Travis Etienne back, so he's getting that, safety blanket back. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen with DJ Shark there, but they could go out and draft a Justin Ross maybe late in the draft, another guy that he's familiar with. He made Laquan Treadwell relevant. So all that tied in together. If he boosts his rushing, if he continues to get a little more consistent with his passing, there is no reason why Trevor Lawrence cannot finish within the top 15 of fantasy quarterbacks. Then I got Kirk Cousins with the Kevin O'Connell hiring there from the Los Angeles Rams. I'm expecting a big, or at least a decent season out of Kirk Cousins. He's consistently finished within this range year in and year out. So I'm hoping, or I'm not really hoping, I'm projecting him to finish here. He could definitely, again, these guys between 13 and 17 here, they're going to interchange throughout the whole season. This list is going to, it's a fluid list. It's going to move as guys get drafted, as situations change. If Kirk Cousins gets another prolific wide receiver with him, I might consider bumping him up a little bit in my rankings. He was QB 11 in 2021 with 307 total points. And just to put it out there, this list is based on a 4-point passing TD structure, 6-point rushing, just the standard scoring for fantasy football quarterbacks. At 15, I have second-year product Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields can be a great passer in the NFL, great fantasy producer if he gets his running going. I'm hoping they take full advantage of that with the new coaching regime there in Chicago. And then at 16, I got Trey Lance. I'm probably going to have Trey Lance behind a lot of other QB ranks. I think Steph's got him a little higher than I do. And for this season, and having him at the 16th spot still scares me a bit. I know the offense will still have value in fantasy as long as guys like Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, Mitchell, and Kyle Shanahan are still in the fold for the Niners. Like I said, I'll be adjusting these rankings through the season. I can definitely move Trey up the list here as the season goes, but his draft capital as of right now is just too expensive for me in any kind of redraft league. In a dynasty league, I'm okay with reaching up for Trey Lance ahead of a bunch of these other guys. What's up, Frankie? Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate the support as always. But for me, I think I would rather have Trevor Lawrence, even though Trey Lance has a better situation over. Do you think Trey Lance can be a top 10 fantasy QB? He can definitely get there. He's a little raw still. He did put up some good numbers in the limited time that he had. He had 5 touchdowns, 603 yards on 71 attempts. It's a small sample size, but those are not bad numbers, right?
Yeah, divide that into half, and that's like 350 yards a game. And what you said, 5 touchdowns?
5 touchdowns.
How many rushing touchdowns?
He had 38 carries, which he averaged about 6.3 carries a game, which is a great number on a per game basis for carries by the quarterback. That's where his true value will lie. If he continues to rush the ball, he has been comped to Josh Allen, so he could definitely finish in that top 10 if he consistently rushes the ball and he can make the throws that he needs to make in the passing game. He has the tools around him. The line's there, the receivers are there, the tight ends there, the running backs there, the coaching is there. He definitely has the tools around him to be a top 10 fantasy quarterback. Again, dynasty, I'm definitely taking him as a top 10 fantasy quarterback. Redraft, I think I might want one of these other guys before him. But as of right now, the 49ers have the 5th hardest schedule in terms of winning percentage of the opponents that they're playing against, which is why I have him at the back end of my list here. And then after Trey Lance, I got Tua Tagovailoa, who's getting a upgrade in, I don't know if it's an upgrade, but he's getting a regime change there with Mike McDaniel taking over as head coach, coming from the said San Francisco 49ers. And then I got Zach Wilson, New York Jets, second-year quarterback. I'm expecting big things out of Zach Wilson. I'm trying to draft him in all my dynasty leagues wherever I can. I think it's going to be a big year for the kid. And then Matt Ryan at 19, and then to circle out the list. I know you're not a big Baker guy, but I got Baker Mayfield as QB 20. If he can stay on the field, he can make the plays that he needs to be in that top 20 range. I know you got another guy there in that 20 spot.
Oh yeah.
But Mack Jones, man, wasn't the greatest fantasy producing quarterback this past year. He could take the step up in his second year coming in. He might have that sophomore slump. I don't know what to expect of him without that Josh McDaniels there, who's moved on to Las Vegas. But I'm okay with Baker Mayfield there now. But that could definitely change as the season goes. So that's my top 20 right there. As of right now, I'm a way too early top 20 QB rankings.